Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Race and class in the game. Race and class in the game. And I actually did an on-demand video talking about this a while ago, and I always throw class in the equation anyway on a normal basis, not so much as race. If you want to check out that on-demand video I did, the link is in the description box. Man, just real quick, back day. Back day. So, but anyway, race. You know, I was checking out wanna see Boogie's videos this morning, the men who get the most sex. And it was just about 2 or 3 minutes, and he specifically, just limited it to the black community. And he has said two types of men primarily. Of course, other people get theirs, but the main two, the athletes, the jocks, which, if you pay attention, especially in American culture, athletes are respected, even by racists. They're probably the most respected men in the community. People think Pookie and Ray Ray and shit, but no, it's the jock. It really is. That's why, an athlete, Kwame Brown, he say something, everybody's listening. And then, the second type, he called the athletes one, but he called like corporate guys who had some power, who had an edge as the number 2 type of guy, 1A. But he said it was more than them being corporate and, suit and tie and everything, but they had an edge where, yeah, they can handle things in the boardroom, but they could also handle things in the streets. And that's actually in line with, if we're talking specifically about the black community, what I talk about Mr. Goodbar and the Masked Man. The overwhelming majority of Mr. Goodbars I've encountered, I have a conversation. I'd be like, hey, so where'd you play ball? They either played at a minimum high school ball, but then, college ball, some have been pros and stuff. Always a jock. If you look at a lot of these fine-ass women who they get with their men, overwhelmingly it's a jock. Even when people talk about that whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing, like Pookie and Ray Ray, shit, during sports season and stuff, they playing ball. And then, the corporate guy, he's distinctly said an edge, because some guys think it's just, you just have money. A lot of non-select guys got money, but he said the guy had to have an edge. I would say that corporate thug type. And see, Boogie specifically used the characters Ghost from the show Power and Stringer Bell. And yeah, actually it did a video on that corporate thug. You know what, I'm gonna put that link in the description box. That's two links already. Anyway, but check out, and definitely a link to, 3 links. Check out the link to see Boogie's video. And also too, we got that self-improvement summit coming up on Saturday. I think check with C Boogie. I think there's some spaces left, so hit him up. See what we can do. So anyway, oh, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. I gotta pay attention now. Wait a minute. A little bit more traffic. So yeah, just imagine there's some music playing. Okay, wait. I'll sing a song for y'all. Good loving body, rocking, knocking boots all night long. Oh, really get into it. You's a big fine woman, won't you back that thing up? Anyway, all right, back to the regular programming. But I was thinking about just overall that would have me thinking, because I'm gonna tell you what, when I talk about man gets women on here, despite what one commentator think, I'm not strictly a dating coach just for black men. Indeed, black men probably make up maybe of my overall sales, maybe 30 to 40%. My books have sold all over the world. I got a coaching client coming up. He's in Israel. He's in Israel now. I had another coaching client. He's an Afrikaner. So I got clients all over the world. One of my best students was Albanian from Switzerland. So, so we got Asian guys. About to do some stuff with one of my Asian brothers next week. And so because of that, I stay general. Even when I talk about body game, I never say a specific type. I just said the woman just need to like it. The woman just need to like it. But then if you start putting in race and class, I'm going to get into that later, even that will affect what type of body that a particular woman is even going for. It will affect it. And definitely by class, but even body types. If you look at different racial groups, it's not, most of the world, everybody, you got like these cats, especially black pill, thinking all the women on the planet want some 6 foot Chad or something. Well, maybe in some European places, but you got some places where the men are not that tall, or even that same body build. They want thicker. Indeed, just in my personal life, some of the women that I've dealt with who weren't American, who were probably, from the Caribbean or West Africa, continental Africa, some of them were looking at my big self and saying, hey, you need to put on some weight. Seriously, it comes up. There's a lot of stuff to it. I mean, the racial aspect is very significant because the type of, despite all the stuff about interracial relationships and everything, the majority of women stay within their own racial group. The majority, of course, there's some that cross over, but that's the man they're gonna find most attractive, and a lot of that's just based on whatever their DNA is, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So because of that, there's gonna be different nuances in the game. Like I said, usually when I'm talking about it, I stay extremely general. Extremely general. But then, because I'm going to tell you what, if I were to get very specific, I would have to do a different channel. Because even that thing, even that thing with the jawline, that like sharp jawline is mostly a European thing. Yet you got some men who might have like more rounder faces, maybe in Africa or the Caribbean or something, or maybe in Hispanic communities. Shoot, their faces might be rounded, but then they got 15 kids and a ton of one. Like, especially in some places in Africa, if you look at the guys who got not just multiple wives, but multiple children, shoot, they might be physically big or something, like even a body type, because even when I talk body game, you got a bunch of guys, and they say, yeah, you got that Brad Pitt body. That's what women go crazy over. And it was funny. There was like one of those websites, they had those body types, including Brad Pitt on there. And a bunch of black women saw that same site, all those bodies, and they were like, well, where's Thor? And they weren't talking about his face. They were talking about his body. So even that is different. That's why I say just get your best body and see who your tribe is. And, there's going to be definitely racial factors in there. And then even within the races, there's different class factors. Like, and I'll use white America for this example. Because, the woman who's promoted as the tens, the dimes, they tend to be those pretty face, slimmer women. All right, fine. But where I live now, it got a significant amount of blue collar types. Significant amount. And like more on got a combination of just regular types and then guys who like maybe own blue collar type businesses and stuff. You see their wives, you be like, damn girl, it's a big fine one. Won't you back that thing up? Shit, they be having those But in the black community, they call pogs, fat ass white girls, PHAT. Big old, like, thick round booties and shit. Hell, you go to some of the stores around here, I be looking at them, I say, damn. And stuff. They ain't like out of shape or anything, but they got those thicker type bodies, shapelier bodies and stuff. And I've known plenty of both blue collar type white men and also white men who somebody, you know, whatever term they use in the white community for Pookie and Ray Ray, some thug types. And you see the women they will. And the women going crazy over them, you know? And even, you know, and that's just in the white community, in the black community. It's not all the same. There's still some nuances and everything. Even how to look and everything, you know? Even the look, body build, how you carry yourself, how you dressed and everything. Because, like one thing, just how I've been in life, I've dealt with different classes of black women, of course. Now, okay, I got this beard and, you know, it's kind of rough now. Need to line some stuff up, but there's still some women who would be like, yeah, dude, yeah, all right, certain classes. Shout out BGSF more for talking about the octane models. Where I'm at now, oh yeah, if the women 85 or 87, they like, yeah, you know. Of course, some of them be like, where your tats at? Hey, like I said, the class thing. But then if you start going up in class, even in the black community, it's a different look. In fact, I'm gonna share one link from my Instagram where I was at a high-heeled event, more elite event, boule level event for black people who know what that means, upper black middle class, and with a silver fox, who's yeah, she's up there, definitely bourgeois family. And we joked about that one time too. But anyway, you'll notice if you look at me, I'm just dressed differently and everything is shaved. But that was the crowd I was around. I was sitting at a table with some millionaire dentists, doctors, attorneys, and stuff. So that was even a different look right there. It was a different look right there. You know, and speaking of the class thing, okay, I'm just driving past somebody. They got a little tiny Confederate flag on there, white guy. Shoot, I can guarantee his woman ain't some, like one of those Barbie doll looking white women. Shoot, she gonna have some ass on her. I seen who they hang out with. But they race and class, I mean, there's so many little nuances. That's one of the reasons why I say, like, even when I talk body game, I said, okay, see which women like it. But if I get deeper, it's very specific. I don't get it because it's different for everybody. I can say one thing. Now I can talk from what I've seen. Now I've been around all types and even across races, and you gotta change up. You gotta change up. And then even with the physicality, because one thing we got around here too, I just passed by a Hispanic man. He got a weed whacker and stuff. You got a ton of Hispanics that live around here, and I've yet to see one that was even 5'10", but they be having a ton of kids. And got some weight on them and everything. But they be having a badass wives and stuff, mothers and stuff. But that's a different racial thing, different class and everything. Because I've also known some more upper class Hispanic women and stuff, and they'll have a different look. So all of that comes into it. See, and one of the things too, you got a lot of guys on here, especially a lot of those black pill guys, and I ain't coming after them, but I'm just being real out here. There's so many factors as to why a particular woman likes a particular guy. Like, to the point, if I see a woman, already I can take one look at her and already get an idea which guys are going to appeal to. And let me hit y'all with something else, because you always hear those stories about those upper class women messing with that lower class guy and stuff. I've even talked about it. But is an important factor with it, and this is regardless of race. You got to look at where that upper class woman is from. You get a lot of them who seem like they professionals, they doctors, lawyers, whatever, making money, looking all sophisticated, but then if you were to get them naked, they got a ton of tattoos and some piercings in some interesting places. And in fact, I know one now. She was straight. She's actually cool. I'll even tell her I even mention her without calling her name. But if you look at her husband and how she living, and you look at her, you're like, how y'all two together? You know? But then he kind of came from that background too. Because I'm going to tell you what, when you see a situation like that, I always say, look at the woman, where she from. Look at her, where she from. Because that's where her imprint was. Because honestly, except for some extremely beautiful women who beautiful enough to move up, well, they can move up in money. Really, they never really move up in class. So you get that extremely beautiful one. She can get that rich person, but they from that class. Like, I'll give you a great example, like these pro athletes and stuff. And people wonder, why they messing with that ratchet? Why they messing with that like trifling woman? Look at where they grew up. Most of them, a whole lot of them, grew up in a poor environment. A whole lot of them. One of the few athletes, if people remember Grant Hill, he's one of the few that grew up in a more upper class environment. He's one of the few. Because I know where he grew up. He grew up in Reston, Virginia. So he's one of the few. The rest of them, at best, might have been middle class. But a whole lot of, at best, middle class. But that's who they get with. And, my whole point is you got to look at a whole lot of nuances. Now, I'm going to continue because I got students all over the world. And I'm calling them students. Not fans, students, because these guys actually do the work. I got students all over the world. So I try to keep it as general. Unless we have a conversation, then I got to start getting more specific. And yeah, I can say some general stuff, but those nuances always come in. Those nuances are there whether you like it or not. I'll use myself for an example again, because I've had some detractors who I questioned their gender. I question their orientation when they try to say something about, well, Ron don't get any, you don't look like all that. First of all, when a woman looking at me, she ain't looking at my jawline or anything like that. She'll look, but she's looking at a lot of stuff. One of my biggest things for getting women, even regardless of race, was just having chocolate skin. Chocolate brothers. Seriously, there's been, it's funny, you got some women, particularly black women, talking about colorism, but I lost count of how much pussy I got just by being chocolate. And them saying, nah, I don't want to mess with that light-skinned dude. And then there's been some light-skinned dudes knowing the reason they got some play is because of their complexion. And that's something more specific to the black community, something I don't talk about. But this is just a real thing. You got to look at all of these things. All of them. All right? So, anyway, that's all I got for now. Check out the links I shared. You can check out my IG link. You can see Rom and stuff when I'm gonna be bougie. So anyway, I'll get back with you. I was gonna say something. I'll let it go. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace.